सहनो भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। बिना ये ज्ञान कहाँ रे मनवा, बिना ये ज्ञान कहाँ रे मनवा, ज्ञान बिना ये ध्येय अधूरा, हरि चरण कमल कैसे पाऊं, बिना ये ज्ञान कहाँ रे मनवा, बिना ये काम क्रोध मद लोभ मोह मिल, अहंकार है जीव का दुश्मन, काम क्रोध मद लोभ मोह मिल, अहंकार है जीव का दुश्मन, भक्ति विनय से सेवा भाव से, भक्ति विनय से सेवा भाव से, जानो ये गुरु महिमा रे मनवा, पहचानो ये गुरु महिमा रे मन, पहचानो ये ज्ञान बिना ये ध्येय अधूरा, हरि चरण कमल कैसे पाऊं, बिना ये ज्ञान कहाँ रे मनवा, बिना ये ज्ञान, नित्य निरंतर अंतर्यामी, हृदय विराजे मेरे स्वामी, नित्य निरंतर अंतर्यामी, हृदय विराजे मेरे स्वामी। कैसे पाऊं उस भगवान को, कैसे पाऊं उस भगवान को। गुरु कृपा के बिना रे मनवा, गुरु दया के बिना रे मनवा। ज्ञान बिना ये ध्येय अधूरा, हरि चरण कमल कैसे पाऊं, बिना ये ज्ञान कहाँ रे मनवा। गुरु बिना ये ज्ञान कहाँ रे मनवा। ओम नमो नारायणाय। 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 ओम यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुः सुरासुरगणाः Devaya Tasmai Namaha. Devaya Tasmai Namaha. Uddharedātmanātmānam nātmānamavasādayet ātmaiva hyātmano bandhuhu ātmaiva ripurātmanah karmaṇ්ñevādhikāraste mā phaleshu kadācana mā karma phala heturbhuhu mā te sangostva karmani yat karoshi yadasnasi yat dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam ananyāścintayanto māṁ ye janāః paryupāsate teshāṁ nityābhiyuktānāṁ yogakṣemam vahāmyaham sarvadharmān parityajya māmekam sharanam raja aham tvā sarvapāpebhyah mokshayishyāmi mā shucaha. Humble prostrations to one and all present here. So in the first verse, the importance of self-effort is emphasized. There is a great purpose for which we have come to this world. And that purpose is spiritual evolution. In this spiritual evolution, we alone are our friend, we alone are our enemy also. So who is this we? Our own mind. So, while living life, the intelligent living would be converting that mind as our friend and not allowing the mind to become our enemy. A friendly mind takes us up, uddharet. An inimical mind pulls us down. And in this, we alone are responsible, lifting up or falling down. So what are the mistakes generally we do, because of which we train our mind in the wrong direction and the mind becomes our enemy? So the next verse talks about it. So what are the two mistakes? Ma te sangaha astu akarmani. Inaction is one mistake. So this is the tamasic mistake. Mistake done at the tamasic level. There is a duty to be performed, there is a swadharma to be performed, but I don't do it. When we don't do our duty, it is called a sin of omission. Don't say, Swamiji, I am not performing action. How can non-performance of action be papa karma? Because karma itself is not there. No karma, how can be papa karma? So then this is called a sin of omission. There is something which I have to do, but I don't do it. That non-performance of action also can be a sin. Papa karma need not be a performance of action. So that is called a sin of commission. Sin of omission and sin of commission. When you perform a papa karma, it is a papa karma. But when you don't perform your swadharma, that is also a papa karma. Mate sangaha astu akarmani. So what are the possible reasons because of which we may not perform our duty? laziness, fear of insult, criticism, loss of death, or due to intense attachment, fear of breaking of a relationship. All these can be a reason. Okay, so that is one mistake. So this is a mistake at the tamasic level. What is a mistake at the rajasic level? You are performing your swadharma, no doubt, but it is performed with karma phala asakti, desire for karma phala. That is rajasic in nature. When actions are performed seeking the result, insisting upon the result, then that also can lead to an inimical mind. Ripu. So how are we training the mind as our enemy when we are performing action for the result that yesterday we had in detail seen? How this karma phala asakti develops all kinds of negative traits in us. The results are always uncertain. So when I perform action insisting upon an uncertain results, the mind goes through tension, worry, anxiety, stress. So thus we are training the mind in anxiety. Whatever you train, that becomes the swabhava of the mind, nature of the mind. Prakritim yanti bhutani nigraha kim karishyati. Beings act according to their nature. But this nature is cultivated. This is how we cultivate. Every time we train the mind in anxiety, slowly the nature of the mind becomes anxious. Effortlessly that mind starts flowing through that groove cut by us. Again and again you train the mind in the habit of fear, then that mind always runs into that groove of fear. So every negative emotion can become a habit. If again and again you do things to entertain those emotions, then that habit is what is called as swabhava or prakriti. So yesterday we saw how karma phala asakti develops all kinds of negative traits. So when I am performing for result, two options. What are the two options? Either I may not get what I want, or I will get what I want. Either I may not get or get less, or I may get or get more. Two options. So the first option, I don't get what I want. Then what happens? There is vishada, sorrow, shoka, dejection, depression. There is sometimes inferiority complex. Then there is also the person who has stopped me from getting it. There can be anger, jealousy, revenge, hatred. And the whole mind is colored with all negativity. Then this person starts projecting things which is actually not there, and not seeing things which are there, coloring the whole world. And then this person starts living in his own world of projection. And because these emotions are negative, naturally this person attracts a negative environment, negative happenings around the person. Also, this person gets into the whirlpool of negativity, constantly thinking about negativities. Greater the insistence on result, greater will be the intensity of whirlpool, duration of whirlpool, and also frequency of whirlpool. Yesterday I forgot to mention that. Frequency means what? Whenever you are free, you have nothing to do, suddenly the mind starts thinking that. Whenever you have nothing else to do, the mind enters into that. So this is called as frequency. How frequently you enter into that whirlpool depends upon how free time you have and how intensely you are disturbed. Again and again, the more and more we have such negative whirlpools in our life, the more and more that person becomes habitually depressive. He enters into a state, a permanent state of disturbance. Because wherever, whatever he thinks, he enters into a whirlpool. There is a whirlpool there. He thinks about a person, a negative whirlpool. He thinks about one event, there is a negative. Because every situation is analyzed in a negative way. Something he did not get. His expectations are not fulfilled. In every situation, he comes back with a wounded heart. And every such situation becomes a cause of negative whirlpool. Right thinking is the only solution. And if you find all these negative whirlpools are because of karma phala asakti, insistence on results. So this is one channel, when you don't get what you want. What is the other one? When you get what you want, then what happens? Another whirlpool. What is that whirlpool? The whirlpool of elation. Again, the same thing. Intensity, duration, and frequency. Now, this whirlpool of elation is also equally dangerous because it throws you out of your center. It is a training in wanderings of the mind. It makes you live in your past. Especially the elderly people, you will find this. As we grow old, there is nothing to be proud of in the present moment because body is getting old. People are ignoring you. All retired. No glory, no money. Now, what is the only possible escape from the present? Future, anyway, I don't want to go because future is going to be terrible. So the only escape from the present is the escape into the past. So therefore, elderly people you will find going back again and again into the past. And into the past, which are those places where they will go? Those selected rare few moments where they are awarded, rewarded, glorified, recognized. Because whenever they enter into that whirlpool, it gives joy. There are other whirlpools, they will not go there because they are already miserable. Another misery is not needed. So therefore, whenever somebody comes, a guest comes, he will tell the same story again and again. Repeat performance like a broken CD. You see, this is one of the major old age problems. You have to be very, very careful. How many times you are telling the same story to the same person? It is all because of this whirlpooling only. Okay, that is one. Then, again, when our desires are fulfilled, there is this greed for it more and more. Because there is a taste of success, there is a taste of joy. So in order to have more and more joy, there is only one possibility: you must continuously be successful. So there is greed for success, lobha. And then what? There is infatuation again. When you become successful, that becomes a source of joy. So whatever becomes the source of joy, you become addicted to it to such an extent that every aspect of life is forgotten. This alone becomes your primary focus. That is called as moha, infatuation. And then comes the worst, that is mada, superiority complex, ego. And with ego comes everything. All negative traits. So this is how our mind becomes our enemy. Atmaiva hyatmano bandhuhu atmaiva ripuhu. Atmanaha ripuhu. Atma eva. Your own mind is your enemy. Which mind? Mind trained in negative traits. Who trained the mind? I myself. Carelessly, unconsciously, by brooding over certain things again and again, unintelligently handling situations, unintelligently handling thoughts, now this mind has become my enemy. Creating all problems for me. This mind now becomes the, it becomes the means for my avasadhanam. Avasadhanam means fall. This is called as fall. That mind is not available now. Now at the seat of meditation, what will that mind do? Swamiji, guided meditation, Swamiji. Guide us to meditation. Okay, we can guide, but where will you be? You are carrying a mind of so many whirlpools. You now and then fall in this whirlpool, that whirlpool. Everywhere whirlpool only. No guided meditation is going to work. Mind has their own grooves cut in all wrong channels. Suppose there is a chariot and the horses have to run on a road full of potholes, huge potholes. What will happen to a chariot? The wheel will again and again go and fall in some pothole. Okay, let us not talk about horse, let us talk about the car. So what happens to the tire? You are pressing the accelerator, but the tire is... Isn't it? Problem is not the instruction. Instructions are wonderful. Guidance is wonderful. But meditation is not happening. Meditation is not happening because mind is stuck here and there. So our own mind becomes our greatest enemy. But on the other hand, when you perform action, not for the sake of results, such a mind becomes a healthy mind. So performance of duties, number one, performing it without expecting results. Then uddharanam will happen. But there is a practical problem. What is a practical problem? How can you perform action without expecting results? So that question is answered in the third verse. Yat karoshi yadasnasi yajjuhoshi dadasyat yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam. How to motivate oneself to perform action? So for that we have to understand that in order to perform action I must have life, in order to perform action I must have talents, abilities, the environment, everything is given by God. So now the purpose of performance of action is not to get results. Purpose of performance of action is to please the Creator who has given everything. Yes, there is a shift in the very purpose. The purpose is to not get what I want. The purpose is to please God. So may all your actions be an offering unto God. Arpanam. So what is this offering? So yesterday we were discussing this. Offering is nothing but whatever you do, remember this fact that it is only by the grace of God that I am able to do whatever I am doing. Never forget this great truth. Life doesn't belong to me. Ability doesn't belong to me. The environment also is not created by me. It has come by that infinite, omniscient, divine Lord. So therefore, every action I have to keep this reality in mind. So God remembrance itself is offering. Yat karoshi. So everywhere there are two ways, the wrong way and the right way. Yat karoshi, whatever you do. So what is the wrong way? Doing for the result. What is the right way? Doing, remembering the Lord who has empowered me to do. That is the right way. Yat karoshi, yad asnasi. Asnasi, what is the wrong way? Eating for indulgence, for taste, for pleasure. Asnasi, that is the wrong way. Then what will happen? You will become addicted. You will have health issues. You will be addicted to all these kinds of pakodas and samosas. Because you are eating for pleasure. You see? That is the law. If you are eating for pleasure, what are you training your mind? You are training your mind in pleasure. So therefore the mind will be addicted to pleasure. You see? But suppose you are eating. Eating has to be done. You can't avoid it. Certain bhogas are unavoidable. You have to maintain your health. So when that eating is done consciously, as a worship, remembering the Lord, then that asnam means eating itself becomes a yoga, a meditation. Wrong way, right way. Juhoshi, your offering, homa havana, for the result, that is the wrong way. But you are offering as an expression of loving gratitude, perfect. Dadasi, charity, what is the wrong way? Boost one's ego. Show off. Tell the whole society that I am a very great philanthropic person. Wrong way. You will only suffer because that mind will become your ripu. And avasadhanam will happen. But you see, you have to be extremely sensitive to know this. How you are training your mind to become your enemy. You see, we love to show others that I am a very charitable person. Egoistic joy is very easy to experience. But in the process, the consequence, it is very difficult to detect. In order to be aware how the mind is getting trained in the wrong direction, you have to be extremely sensitive. Sensitivity and awareness, they go together. How much sensitive you are, that much aware you will be. Depth of awareness is directly proportional to sensitivity. A dust particle under the foot, you are not even aware because it is an insensitive skin. A dust particle in the eyes, you clearly become aware even when it is floating around. Why? Extremely sensitive. In the same way, mind also actually speaking grows in sensitivity with spiritual progress. Becomes more and more sensitive, more and more sensitive. And therefore, the moment there is a movement in the wrong direction, in the direction of avasadhanam, you become aware. A sensitive mind becomes aware of avasadhanam, and also it becomes aware of uddharanam. Insensitive mind is not even aware. Yat karoshi, yad asnasi, yad juhoshi, dadasi, yat tapasyasi. Tapas also can be done in the wrong way. To show off, I am a great tapasvi, austere person. So whatever tapas you do it publicly so that everybody sees. Oh, what a great tapasvi. Your ego, shot for the ego. You see, silently those who do tapas, they are really tapasvis. Don't show it to others. Now, in this word comes the term arpanam. Tat kurushva madarpanam. Perform all actions as an offering unto me. Now, what actually this arpanam means, that is the next verse. So the next verse talks about what is arpanam and what are the benefits of arpanam. Let us chant the next verse. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye janaf paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. Yes. What is that arpanam? Furthermore, it is elaborated. Because arpana means offering. What does it mean? Bhagavan, can you throw some light on it? Yes. So arpana means, number one, ananyaha. Arpanam is actually an upasanam having these characteristics. Ye jana paryupasate. Upasana it is. Arpanam is also an upasana, is a spiritual practice with these aspects in it. So what are the aspects? Number one, ananyaha. Number two, mam dhyayantaha, mam chintayantaha. Number three, nityabhiyuktaha. Three terms are used to elaborate upon arpanam, so that we get a clear understanding. What is called offering unto the Lord, worship of the Lord? What does it mean? Is it just showing some arati and ringing the bell, etc.? Or is there something more to it? Arpanam means what? So arpanam equal to ananyaha, mam chintayantaha and nityabhiyuktaha. So the first one, ananyaha. There should be ananyata. Anyam means what? Other. Ananya means no other. Meaning single pointed. Single pointedness. Meaning what? Worshipping only God and nothing else. With this understanding that there is only one God. Ananyata. Ananya ashrayam, let us say. Single pointedly, not allowing the mind to get distracted in so many channels, so many paths, so many ways. Now the question is, why should we worship? Is Bhagavan deserving it? So we say yes, because Bhagavan is abhinna nimitta upadana karanam. This is one name for the Lord. Abhinna nimitta upadana karanam. Upadana karanam means what? Material cause. Nimitta karanam means efficient cause. So the common example given is the potter making the pot. So when the potter has to make the pot, he needs a material. What is the material? Clay. So that the clay is called material cause, upadana karanam. Now, clay alone will not become pot. Somebody has to do it. A sentient, intelligent principle has to be there to convert that pot into a clay into a pot. So that is called as efficient cause, nimitta karanam. So who is that in this example? Potter. Potter is the one who converts the clay into a pot. With his knowledge, with his sentiency. So two entities are needed for any creation. One is the material entity, the other is the sentient entity. Upadana karanam, nimitta karanam. So in this creation, the whole creation we see beautifully functioning with such a harmony. So definitely in this creation also these two entities must come from. This creation also has some material. The Panchamahabhutas are there. And if it is functioning so well, definitely there has to be somebody who has created it. Are they different? So then Vedanta says abhinna. Abhinna means not bhinna, not different. Upadana karanam and nimitta karanam are one. They are not bhinna, not different. So God is the one who has created this creation, and God is the one who has brought out the material from Himself to create the creation. He is the material, He is the creator. He is the sentient entity, He is the material entity. How is it possible? One creator creating, bringing out material from himself. Sir, can you give an example? Yathornanabhisrajate grinhate cha Mundakopanishad. Just like the spider brings out the web, that sticky liquid thread, out of itself. So who is spinning the web? Spider. Where did he get that material? It has brought out from its own stomach. Urna Nabhi, spider's name in Sanskrit. Urna means thread, Nabhi means navel. The one who brings out thread from the navel, that is called as Urna Nabhi, spider. So this is the example given. So in this case, with respect to this web, this spider is abhinna nimitta upadana karanam. So just like that, this world also has come from Bhagavan. So therefore, there is no other entity who has brought the material. So therefore, ananya chinta is not wrong. Because there is no anyam. Also, in this process of evolution, it is always Bhagavan who is there with us from the beginning till the end. Gatir bharta prabhu sakshi nivasa sharanam suhrit prabhavav pralayasthanam nidhanam bijam avyayam. Arjuna, I am everything. Prabhavaha pralayaha sthanam. All jivas are born from me. Prabhavaha. Sthanam, they remain in me. They are existing because of me. And pralayaha, they merge in me. All through their journey of evolution, I am the one who is supporting them. Gati, I am the goal. Bharta, I am the one who is supporting them. Prabhu, I am the Lord. Sakshi, sitting in their hearts, I am watching everything, what this fellow is doing. What actions he is doing, with what intention he is doing, with what intensity of intention he is doing, with what attitude. Everything I know about him, therefore I can give karma phala to him without asking him. Even he himself doesn't know what he is doing. I know. You see? So therefore, Sakshi, I am the one who is sitting in the hearts of everyone, watching everything. Directly I see. Sakshat ikshate. I don't need any sense organs to see. I know everything. My knowing is absolute knowing, impartial knowing, defect-free knowing, instrument-free knowing. Therefore, my knowing is perfect. Sakshi, Gatir Bharta Prabhu Sakshi Nivasaha, that being is existing in me. Sharanam, I am the ultimate refuge for everybody. Suhrit, I am also a friend of everyone, well-wisher of everyone. Nidhanam, I am the treasure. Bijam avyayam, I am the cause. Avyayam, I am that imperishable entity. In short, I am everything. Pitahamasya jagato mata dhata pitamaha. I am the father, mother and grandfather also. In fact, what is Bhagavan trying to say? Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmar. Mayeva mana adasva. Fix your mind in me alone, because there is nobody else other than me. There is no one else. I have not given any choice. So therefore, with this understanding, when you worship Him, that is called as Ananya. Yepyanya devata bhaktaha yajante shraddhayanvitaha tepi mameva kaunteya yajantya vidhi purvakam. But there are in the society, you find people, they are anya devata bhaktaha. What do you mean anya devata bhaktaha? According to what they need, they go to a particular god, especially in Hinduism. I have lot of problems. Shani Dasha is there. So where to go? Shani Bhagavan. Shani Bhagavan is there. Shani Bhagavan. What is his vehicle? Crow. Shani Bhagavan. Okay. Shani problem, Shani Bhagavan. Vighna Vinashaka. I am going to start something and I don't want any kind of obstacles. So what should I worship then? Ganesha. Vigneshwara, Vignahara. Okay, Ganesha. So Ganesha is also unavoidable. In night time, I see all ghost movies and I see a lot of Bhuta Preta and all that. So then who is the savior? Hanuman. Bhuta Pishach Nikat nahi aave. Chant Hanuman Chalisa. So I need Hanuman also. But Swamiji, what is life without wealth? So therefore, Lakshmi also is needed. In short, this fellow's puja room, everybody is there. Everybody is there in this world. All dhupa, deepa, naivedya individually. If I don't do for the other fellow, he will get angry. So that's another big problem now. So this is called as Anya Devata Bhakta. All confusions only. Complete confusion. What does Bhagavan say in Bhagavad Gita? Yepi anya devata bhaktaha yajante shraddhayanvita. With great faith and devotion they are doing worship. Bhagavan says, Tepi mameva. They are actually worshipping me only. There is no too many gods are not there. Only I am there. But yajanti avidhi purvakam. The problem is the fellow is doing it in the wrong way. He will definitely get results. Ahameva sarvayajnanam bhokta cha prabhureva cha. When he is worshipping, actually I am the bhokta. All that worship is coming to me. And I am the one who is blessing. Natumam abhijananti tatvena ataha chavantite. This fellow doesn't know that. Actually I am only blessing through Shani Devata, through Lakshmi, through Hanuman. I alone am. So in one village, there was this hotel. Okay. So people would come. So there was at the reception, he has to say what he wants, idli, vada, whatever. So he would say idli. So the reception, that person, he would write idli this much. Then he would shout, "Hey, idli!" He only will go there and there is only one man. So the customer thinks, oh, there is somebody there inside who is preparing idli. He shouts, goes by the back door, he only prepares everything and keeps. In the same way, so many gods are there and we think they are all individual ones with independent powers. Actually, there are no so many gods, there is only one. Bhagavan says, this fellow doesn't know. He thinks there are so many gods. And therefore what happens? His faith is divided. His dependence is divided. Ananya Ashrayam is not there. If I have this problem, then I have to go there. If I have this problem, there. Like we go to this electric problem, electric department. Plumbing problem, water department. Fire problem, fire department. So many departments. One place the mind doesn't go. Gets divided, distracted, and therefore he suffers. That should not happen. So this first one is Ananya. Only then perfect arpanam will happen. 100% dedication will happen only when there is Ananyata. This is point number one. What is the second one? Mam chintayantaha. This is constant remembrance. Ananya chintanam, nirantara chintanam. Chintana means remembrance. So that we had discussed yesterday. Whatever I do, again and again, I should remember that it is by His grace I am doing it. By His presence I am doing it. Don't take anything for granted. I am breathing because of His grace. So many things we just take it for granted. You see, health we take it for granted. Kidney is functioning, liver is functioning, all the organs are functioning. We take it for granted. Sometimes I feel our body should be made, very transparent. So you see this pumping heart. Oh my God, if it stops, I am finished. And the fellow who is smoking, he should see how that smoke, enters into lungs and all that and settles. All problem is because it is opaque. You just don't know what is happening. How much of work is happening inside, we don't know. So sometimes we are ungrateful also. God doesn't want to show others how much He is doing. He's a very humble person. The more we become consciously aware of what all things are happening, we'll be so careful about health. So this is Chintayanta, constant remembrance. This is also an expression of Arpanam. Not forgetting God. Not forgetting the Kripa of God, His grace, His blessings, His presence. So number one, single-pointedness. Number two, constant remembrance. Number three, nitya abhiyuktaha. Abhiyuktaha, united with me. Ever united with me. What do you mean, united with me? Uniting our will with His will. This is very, very essential if the offering has to be complete. Our will has to unite with His will. What does it mean? This option is given. For human beings, a freedom is given. Our will need not unite with His will. That is called freedom. Our will means what? The will of the ego. So there is a divine will, there is a will of the ego. We have to ensure that we do what pleases Him. This is called uniting with Him. Generally, the will of the ego is against the will of the Lord. The will of the Lord is, you must efface your ego. The will of the ego is, I must nourish myself, expand, bloat, boost. Two extremes. So every time I am doing ego effacement, I am doing the will of the divine. Most of the thing which we like to do is adharmic. Unfortunately, that's how things are. The ego will want to harm the totality for the welfare of the individuality. I don't care about others. I have to be safe, protected. But what is divine will? What will God want from us? Sacrifice your individuality for the welfare of the totality. That is yajna bhava. You see? So living a life pleasing God. Living a life of sacrifice. Living a life of ego effacement. Ego will always want to go out. Extrovertedness is the nature of the ego, because its pleasure comes from the outside. What will the will of the divine say? Don't go out, go in. Always there is. Don't indulge in the external pleasure. Go within. Revel in the internal bliss. The joy of the ego comes from sense indulgence. The bliss of self comes from sense discipline. Indulgence versus discipline, you see? Nityabhyukta means what? Do that which pleases God. The ego wants the path of praise. The divine expects you to walk the path of shreyas. The ego wants to walk the path of unrighteousness, adharma. The divine expects you to walk the path of righteousness. The ego forces you to cultivate asuri sampat in you. The divine expects you to cultivate daivi sampat, divine virtues. Anger, hatred, revenge, this is the way of the ego. Forgiveness, compassion, love, this is the way of the divine. So this choice is given to us. Listen to the ego or listen to the divine. So nityabhyukta means what? Not allowing the ego's voice to control you. Listening to the voice of divine and implementing that inner conviction. At the seat of meditation, you listen to the voice of divine. But when you get up from meditation, it is possible that you forget it and the ego will take over. So at the seat of meditation itself, make a resolve. I am going to do this. Later on, even if my mind changes, I am not going to listen to it. Many times your resolve changes after meditation. During meditation, you take a resolve. Very soon, when the mind becomes rajasic, the very same mind tells you to do the opposite thing. Don't listen. Beware. Nityabhyukta means this. The divine will always indicate to you the path upward, path of uddharanam. The ego will always tempt you towards the path downward, path of avasadhanam. So this is sacrifice. Bhagavan, I am living to please you. That is called as nitya abhyukta. Every decision is made in order to please the divine. So, ananya chintanam, nirantara chintanam, anushasanam. Now this is called as discipline, anushasanam. Surrender actually means discipline and obedience. Bhagavan, if you like something, I will do that. I will not do what I like. I will do what you like. Then you become a recipient of love and affection of the Lord. Just like parents. Just like father and mother becomes extremely happy when a child says this. Even saying itself, parents become extremely happy when children says, Mother, I will do only what you say, not what I like. Correct? It is true. You have a special love and affection for that child who lives that way. You are ready to do anything for that child. And finally, in the old age, you will write your entire will for that fellow. Take everything. It's yours. So in the same way, Bhagavan also has a treasure house. What is his treasure? Satchidananda is his treasure. It is not available for everybody. Satchidananda treasure, that will he will write only to obedient children. Nityabhyukta. In this way, upasate. So what are we describing now? Arpanam. Okay? Arpanam has been expanded. So when we say tad kurushva madarpanam, what do you mean by arpanam? Ananya chintanam, nirantara smaranam, and anushasanam. This is the way to worship God. So in Ananya Chintanam, there is mind involved, there is intellect involved. You value God, you love God. That is also Ananyata. It's not that you love God but you value something else. No. Or you value God or you love something else. No. Loving God and valuing God. Why God is valuable? Because He is the only reality. He is giving existence to the whole world. Therefore, intellect must value God. Why should mind love God? Because God is the source of happiness. You love that which gives you happiness. So source of love and source of value. Altar of love and altar of value. In this way, if you live, now Bhagavan says, such a person, yogakshemam vahamyam. Then there is something which God has to do. It's not all the time you doing. Now something He also has to do. His heart melts in love and affection for such a wonderful child who is living for His sake. A life of sacrifice, a life of purity, a life of self-effacement. He has conquered the Lord with His love and devotion and sincerity. Bhagavan says, for such a person, yogakshemam vahamyam. Vahami, I carry. What? Yoga and kshema. What is this yoga kshemam? So yogaha apraptasya prapanam yogaha praptasya rakshanam kshemaha. This is Bhagavan Shankaracharyaji's definition. What is yoga? Apraptasya prapanam. There are certain things which I don't have, but it is necessary for me. Bhagavan says, I will procure those things for him. He doesn't have to do anything. It is my responsibility. I give it. That is called as yoga. Kshemaha praptasya rakshanam. Now there are certain things which I have already, but I have to preserve it. I will preserve it for him. Acquisition, preservation. Acquiring that which I don't have, preserving that which I already have. This, he need not do it, I will do it for him. If you see, our entire life is nothing but Yogakshema. Either we are trying to get what we don't have, or we are trying to maintain and preserve what you already have. Isn't it? Bhagavan says, this man's everything, I'll take care. Now remember, all our tension, worry, anxiety is on Yogakshema only. What is that which worries you? You will find that either it is Yoga or Kshema. Just imagine that load is taken away. Vahami means Bhagavan says, I carry for him. So there is a choice for human beings. See, for others, that freedom is not given. Choice is not there, freedom is not there, free will is not there. Animals, plants, birds. So therefore, who has to do their Yogakshema now? God alone has to do. Freedom is not given. Therefore, Bhagavan takes care of their Yogakshema. Wherever they are put, Bhagavan has to give their ability to survive. Bhagavan has to give them food. Bhagavan has to give the ability to digest that food also. You just observe every being. Everything is taken care. A little baby, who has to take Yogakshemam? Mother, because that baby can't do anything. Freedom is not there. When freedom is not there, the caretaker has to take care of Yogakshema. So the bird, it has to live in the sky, wings are given, it can fly. A monkey, it survives on trees, so therefore the ability to hang on to the trees, that is given. Food is there on the tree, some fruits, etc. A chameleon, you see the varieties. The fellow can change color. You can't even make out that fellow is there. And then, that shooting tongue, it says the speed with which the tongue goes is faster than the fastest car in this world. They've calculated the time also. How much distance does it travel? And that sticky liquid, bus, everything provided. Very interesting. You just observe Yogakshemam taken care by different beings. How beautifully God has given. And how much varieties. How many varieties of Yogakshema. Earthworm, it has been given the ability to breathe even under the earth. And its food is there only. Fish, ability to swim, ability to breathe inside water. Oh my God. Polar bear, in the ice it survives. Even when the snow comes, I sometimes wonder, there are squirrels running around here. It has a fur. You see? Natural jacket. And food also he gets. Some nuts and all that, he gets something. Very interesting. You see how beautifully Bhagavan has provided Yogakshema for everybody except human beings. Why? How is this fellow different? Which God? Prove God. Fine. You have been given a freedom. Freedom to live an egocentric life or freedom to lead a God-centric life. If God-centric life, Yogakshemam, I will take care. Ego-centric life, you will have to take care. Choice. As long as you are on earth, I will provide you food, water, etc. But suppose you want to go to space, you have to provide. International Space Station. Let me see what is there outside. Carry your food, water, everything. Let us shift our residence in Mars. Now all those kinds of things are happening now. Mars and moon and all that. Then you have to do your Yogakshema. That's it. Air is not there. Carry cylinder. Food, carry. Everything you have to look after, isn't it? There is a God-given world, everything is provided. Very interestingly, life is like this. First there is choiceless surrender. Animals, plants, choiceless, like a baby, can't do anything. Choiceless surrender. The second stage is choiceful revolt. And the third stage is choiceful surrender. Yes or no? First is choiceless surrender. You have no choice. Whatever Mother Nature has made you, you live. Then comes a choiceful revolt. Which God? I don't believe in God. Prove me God. I am taking care of myself. Ego grows. Maybe there is a better way of living. And I am capable of living that way. I have my intelligence. Use your intelligence. Don't be superstitious. Science, reason, logic. Conscious revolt. Very soon he becomes miserable. Tension, worry, stress, anxiety, drinks, club, pub. By the time evening of life has come, I think I have. In fact, his children teaches him a lesson. And as he learns his lesson, he finds his children are revolting now. You see? Once you get married, 2 children, they start teaching you lessons. Then you come to spiritual class. Cheerful surrender, choiceful surrender. This is the whole journey, if you see. In the end, it is choiceful surrender. You come to know that best thing is just surrender unto Him. He will take care of you so well. Because He knows everything about you. Infinite past. Your vasanas, your tendencies, your inclination, what is good for you, everything. There is somebody who is with you, who knows everything. Best thing is surrender. Accept that I don't know anything. Bhagavan. Bas. Yogakshemam vahamyam. Whatever you need comes. But then, what is the price? Yogakshemam just like will not come. 3 things. Number 1, ananyaha, mam chintayantaha, nityayuktaha. As you start living this life of discipline, of spiritual discipline, mind becomes purer and purer. Every time you go against the egoistic will, ego becomes weak. Every time you do the will of the ego, ego becomes strong. Every time you do the will of divine, ego becomes weak. Ego becoming weak itself is called purity of mind. Ego becoming weak itself is called mind becoming your bandhu. Slowly, 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 mind becomes pure. And slowly in that mind, in that pure mind, you experience the presence of the divine. You come to know, oh, I am not alone. God is with me. Now once you start experiencing His presence, and because you have a pure mind, you are able to clearly listen to His guidance. Now there is a greater responsibility. Earlier you could have said, I did not listen to His guidance, therefore I could do anything. But now you are listening. As the mind becomes pure, mind is more sensitive. As the mind is sensitive, it is more tuned to God. The more it is tuned to God, clearer the instruction from God, guidance from God. Now can you ignore it? Again, choice is given. You may ignore. But when you ignore, there is immense misery. Because now the fall is from a higher level. Avasadhanam is not. Oh, dhabar, thud. And that fall makes you more alert. God had clearly guided me not to go there. Still I went. And now I'm miserable. That is the time when you understand how much of bliss you were experiencing. Many times, I understand the intensity of peace only when I lose that peace. Yogo hi prabhavapyayo, Kathopanishad says. In yoga, this is how it happens. First there is elation, then you become careless, then there's a fall, then there's a pain. That pain again makes you alert, takes you higher, again you become careless, again you fall, again high, again fall. This is how it is. Yogo hi prabhavapyayo, beautiful statement. Every fall makes you more alert. Every fall makes the faith in God strong, makes the conviction strong. And that pain, that suffering makes you more alert and more tuned to God. And every fall makes that mumukshutvam intense. Desire for liberation. So fall is necessary step in evolution. Just like a child has to learn walking only by falling. Fall is necessary. Suffering is necessary. Slowly that alert mind, more and more sensitive, more and more sensitive, more and more fully tuned. And every stage you clearly see with that sensitive mind how beautifully Yogakshemam is taken care. The moment you reach a level, the next level instruction starts coming to you. Divine guidance. Now come on, you are at this level. Next, go for this. You are able to clearly see it, perceive it. Now you have no choice. You have to live it. Because you know that that state is higher than this state. Then you struggle. Struggle. Again you reach that. There it is not over. Suddenly the next level appears. This goes on and on. Then you slowly understand the nature of God. His love for us. His love is infinite. His love is unconditional. All the time you find that He is just paying attention to you. All the time Bhagavan is paying attention to us. That is the expression of love. The more you love a person, the more you look at that person. You are with that person. You pay attention to that person. You are concerned about that person. You think about the welfare of the person. These are all the expressions of love. As the mind becomes sensitive, you start feeling that presence, and that presence is just watching you. Remember the two birds of Mundaka Upanishad. One bird is eating the fruit. What is the other bird doing? Watching. Watching whom? Watching this bird. Then you come to know, my God, such a Bhagavan who is loving me so much, who has been taking care of me silently. I thought I was taking care of myself. In fact, He was the one who was taking care of myself. But He was so silent. Never expecting any thanks, never expecting any gratitude. Ahaituka karuna sindhu. Without any hetu, He loves. What is He getting? He is not getting anything. But that is His expression. How beautifully He is taking care of your yogakshema. Then what happens? Your love for Him grows. Understanding about Him grows. And finally, you become fit to attain permanent yogam and permanent kshemam. Rather, highest yoga and permanent kshema. What is that? Moksha. That is the next verse. Mokshaishyami. That we will take it tomorrow. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.